Welcome to the Mind Vault. If you've ever wondered why you do what you do, this channel is for you. We unlock the psychology behind your patterns, habits, and thoughts.
Welcome to The Explainer. If you are tired of being tired, you have come to the right place. We have literally distilled mountains of research from the world's absolute top experts into a simple, actionable guide. So our goal today? To help you get the best rest of your life, and you can start tonight. You know, world-renowned sleep expert Matt Walker, he really put it perfectly. He calls sleep the Swiss Army knife of health, and that is the perfect way to frame this. The science is just so clear. When you get enough high-quality sleep, your mind and your body, they flourish. And when you don't, well, they kind of start to break down. So what does that flourishing sleep actually look like? I mean, how do we even think about it? Well, to get there, we first need a framework. So let's start by breaking down what good sleep really is into its 4 essential pillars. Think about it like nutrition, right? Your diet has macronutrients, your protein, your carbs, your fat. Well, sleep has its own macros, and you can remember them with a really simple acronym, QQRT. That's quantity, quality, regularity, and timing. Okay, so these 4 pillars, they're the foundation for absolutely everything else we're going to talk about. And here's the crucial part. You can't trade one for another. It doesn't work that way. Getting, say, 10 hours of really low-quality fragmented sleep, that's not a win. You need all 4 of these things working together to get that truly unbeatable rest. All right, let's get into the practical steps. And this first one, it might actually surprise you. Your journey to a great night's sleep, it doesn't begin at bedtime. Nope. It starts the very moment you wake up in the morning. Here is the single most important thing you can do when you wake up. Within that first hour, get outside. And you're going to want to aim for about 10 to 15 minutes of direct sunlight. And for this to work, you've got to leave the sunglasses behind. You need that light hitting your eyes. So what's the science here? Why does this even work? Well, that blast of morning light does 2 incredible things. First, it triggers a healthy spike in cortisol, which wakes you up and gets you alert. But at the exact same time, it starts a 16-hour countdown in your brain. And that countdown is what tells your body when to release melatonin, the sleep hormone, that evening. You're literally setting your sleep timer for the entire day. Okay, morning action item number 2. And this one is for all you coffee drinkers out there. To avoid that horrible 3 p.m. energy crash, wait 90 minutes after waking before you have your first coffee. So why? Well, while you sleep, a chemical called adenosine builds up, and that's what makes you feel groggy. Waiting just gives your body time to naturally clear it out. If you drink coffee too early, the caffeine just papers over the adenosine, which then comes back with a vengeance later on, causing that infamous crash. So now that our morning is set, let's talk about the rest of the day. Because what we consume has a massive, massive impact on our sleep. We've got to conquer the 2 biggest culprits here, caffeine and alcohol. You know, most of us have absolutely no idea how long caffeine hangs around in our system. It has a half-life of about 6 hours. So let's imagine you have a cup of coffee at noon. By 6 p.m., half of that caffeine is still in your system. And here's the crazy part. At midnight, when you're trying to fall asleep, a full quarter of that caffeine is still active in your brain, silently just wrecking your rest. And what about that nightcap? So many of us think it helps us sleep, but the science is crystal clear. Alcohol is a sedative, and sedation is not sleep. It might knock you out, sure, but it actually fragments your sleep all night long. And even worse, it blocks your REM sleep. That's the critical stage for processing emotions, for memory, for creativity. It's truly one of the worst things you can do for your sleep quality. Okay, so as evening comes around, our focus needs to shift from our habits to our environment. It is time to engineer a space that basically screams, "It's time to sleep," to your brain. Let's build your sleep sanctuary. Building a sleep sanctuary, it really just comes down to 3 simple, powerful words. The ideal bedroom environment has to be cool, dark, and quiet. Let's break down why each one is so important. Let's start with cool. This might be the most important factor of the 3. To fall asleep and, more importantly, to stay asleep, your body's core temperature actually needs to drop by a couple of degrees. The sweet spot for most people is a surprisingly chilly 65 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 18.5 Celsius. Next up, dark. Just like we need light in the morning, we desperately need darkness at night. We live in what some experts have called a dark-deprived society. Darkness, it is the non-negotiable signal for your brain to start releasing melatonin. So try this simple experiment tonight. 1 hour before bed, just go around and turn off half the lights in your home. I think you'll be stunned by how naturally sleepy you become. So, we have our daily habits down and we've got our perfect sleep environment. But all of that is held up by the single most powerful pillar of good sleep. This is the undisputed king, the one thing that makes everything else work better: regularity. Seriously, if you take only one thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. The single most important piece of advice from all of sleep science is that regularity is king. Consistency is everything. So what does that mean in practice? It means going to bed and waking up at the same time, every single day. And yes, I'm talking weekends too. I know. But this consistency, it anchors your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. When your body knows what to expect, falling asleep is easier, staying asleep is easier, and both the quantity and the quality of your rest will just skyrocket. Okay, let's bring it all together. Here is your actionable plan. Think of it as 4 key areas with one final rule to govern them all. First, manage your light. Get sun in the morning. Second, manage your stimulants. Delay that coffee and avoid alcohol at night. Third, manage your environment. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. And the final golden rule that holds it all together: stick to a regular schedule. We've given you the scientific blueprint, but the key isn't to do everything all at once. It's just to start. So the final and most empowering question is this: what one change will you make tonight to begin your own journey towards truly unbeatable rest?
If this opened your eyes, imagine what else is hiding in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly episodes that decode your brain, one pattern at a time. And if something clicked today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay curious.